Hello, hi, and welcome to drawing live streams and discussing topic of artistic freedom. Is it possible on social media these days in 2025? We're gonna find out. But let me just turn on my other platform there. It's gonna take a minute. Is it hot where you are? Because here it's just I'm boiling. Okay, go live. Change the title to Is artistic freedom possible? There's a limited characters on TikTok. Is artistic freedom possible? Okay. Okay, and go live. Are we? Are we? Yes, we are. Okay. Okay, great. And now move this. It's a little bit too bright actually. Come on. At least it's decently quiet. Monetization tip. Invite another creator to co-host for more attractive live content. Yes, so we have more reasons for people to stack on our platform so we can show them more ads. Great. Yeah, I definitely gonna invite another creator. Like for sure. Hello, hi. Is there anybody out there? Just jumping in on a quick, which basically means probably an hour long live stream today. Normally, lately I was streaming like 3 times a week, but this week it's the first time and it's already Friday. I was a little bit sick and also it's so damn hot that it's crazy. So we're gonna see how this goes. By this I mean if I'm not gonna melt because of how warm it is. Hello, Alan. Hello, Soap. Soap, are you new here? And thanks for joining. So we're gonna talk about artistic freedom because I was thinking about it the other day, and also gonna draw some stuff. Okay, so yeah, so let's change the scene to the drawing one. Let's put the camera over here. I think I'm just gonna doodle one of my characters from my comic book and then maybe I'll take some requests. But it's gonna be easier for me to doodle stuff and talk about that artistic freedom. So I hope you find it interesting. Normally I would have like a moving banner on the bottom in vertical scene if you're watching on TikTok, but it doesn't want to find that source. And every time I launch OBS I need to double click on it and select it again, and for some reason I need to do it every single time, and it is available offline, so I have no idea why it doesn't remember the source and it doesn't want to work the source. Hello Eliezer, how are you? Is it hot where you are? Tell me now. Okay, so I got those sketch pads, right? Because I was the cheap sketch pads I got in cheap supermarket, I think it was Lidl or Aldi, were kind of like this, and they were great. So I bought like a 10-pack on Amazon, which is is this. It's a 10 pack of I'm good, but I'm hot, Eliezer, too hot and too tired because of the warmness. So I got 10 of those, but I really don't like them because the paper is too thin. So if I put this not to bleed over next page, you can actually see it, like you won't see it in camera now, but if you can see it now, but if I'm recording, you can see this showing from the bleed. So I would need to put clean sheet of paper, which is pointless because then it's gonna bleed on the clean sheet of paper. So basically I'm using 2 sheets instead of 1, since I have 10 sketchbooks, and doing it like this when I'm using markers, of course. And so thickness, it's important, and this is not as thick as the other one, but I think I might just use them for pencil sketches. Soap, yes, I haven't been able to catch a stream yet until now. Oh, great. Fantastic that you could. Prepare to be bored to death. So what is your opinion about artistic freedom? Because I have some. I don't know if I'll be able to talk while sketching, but I will try for sure. So I was reading Sleeping Beauties, which is Stephen King and his son Stephen King. They wrote a book, and I don't know, some years ago. And I always like Stephen King book. I know it's a mainstream, but it's just the way he describes things, the way he, like, the character of a person is in that book. And whenever you watch an adaptation of his stories, they're very, very watered down. And that got me thinking. Like, if you're reading a comic book, if you're reading a book, if you're creating a work of art not for social media, you can be yourself. You can have your character visible in that piece of work, and that's really what is the most attractive. That's why we love following real human beings. But whenever this is being adapted to a movie or to whatever, it's being watered down to appeal to the masses. Even if it's niche like a horror, it's supposed to appeal to masses. And that got me exactly thinking about artistic freedom, because it's the same with social media. If you want to be a social media creator, you need to follow the game. So you need to make the same content that everybody is making if you want to grow your account, the same way that everybody else does it, because that's what algorithm rewards. And there is no artistic freedom in that. You're just making content for the algorithm to grow your account, and it's really disheartening, and it's really soulless. You know, hi Leslie. So it annoys me, and I'm thinking, like, you know, we have very short life on this planet. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to express yourself? Because we cannot express ourselves when we talk with people, because we need to put on our social masks. But at least in somebody's making a barbecue, and you can really, it's unfortunately going even through the window now. Give me a minute or two. I'm just gonna close the windows upstairs. Be right back. I don't have a screen yet. This is too much. Okay, I'm back. Hi Z. So as I was saying, you wanna be, the only way you can really express yourself, it's either with a, I don't know, with a loved one or with art, but not if you're doing content for social media, right? Because then you cannot be yourself. I wasn't drawing my character for a long time, so that's not gonna be the best, especially I'm making content because I am drawing now and talking, which is another reason. But this is Herr Zeba, and that's a character based on me. I created him when I was a teenager. He was supposed to be better than me in every sense, more muscular and all of that, six-pack. But over time I decided he's gonna be more human-like, so to be relatable. Thank you, Alicer. It's great to be back. So, you know, it's like, what is the goal worth pursuing? Being a social media creator, I don't think it is. At least not for me, because you need to make the stuff that everybody else is making. And people really don't think, because there's so many YouTube gurus telling you how to get rich quick, like AI automate your content, or you know, you just need to do this and that to optimize your channels, and that's not true, that's not real. But people don't think, and they are so blinded with the perspective that they could actually make it and be as big as all the biggest creators, that those YouTube gurus always compare, like, oh, you can be like Mr. Beast, you can be like somebody else, all you need to do is this and that. And that's, you know, lies, because these people started when social media was very different those years ago, and they worked very hard, and these days it's not the same. And even if you are, like, you know, you can still make it, but you need to have a charisma, you need to spend much more work on that you would have spent in daytime job, and you need also a team of people, because this is very heavily produced content these days. It's like TV productions, really. And you know, those normal channels that would be offbeat like mine, they don't get promoted, they don't get seen, because they are not favored by the algorithm. And the only time they do get out there, go viral or whatever, it's probably because there's a shocking topic you are discussing by chance or something like that. So I'm just getting disheartened with the whole stuff like that. And when I was creating Herzeba, which is, I made him looking much more more like to a real human anatomy, realistic, than my other cartoon work. But I think I'm gonna revise it, and it's gonna be something in between, because I have some other characters as well. So it's easier to draw and make the comic when the design will be a little bit unified, simplified, you know, if that makes sense. That looks really good, to be honest. He looks really good right now. Oh, thank you very much. You're way too kind. Like, I forgot how to draw his nose. Like, originally the nose was supposed to be like kind of like this, like a eagle nose. I really never really had the nose figured out. I had the cheekbones showing nicely. So there's Herzeba, there's D'Artagnan. Sorry, the character name is by his friend is Dart, based on the inspired by D'Artagnan. And then we have one more person, and then we have triggers as well. And it's about growing up, my growing up when I was a coming of age story. Of course, mixed with tons of fiction and supernatural art to keep it interesting. So, well, there won't be much realistic stuff over there, but the whole experience of growing up in the 90s in Poland, where I'm from, will be there. So I'm really looking forward to making this. Say Free says he looks awesome, thank you. Toteo, I know Herzeba for a few minutes, but I love this guy. Oh, thank you so much. You know, he has a dry sense of humor, like myself, because it's my alter ego. What else? He's really full of energy, because I was not. I'm just getting some messages and they are distracting. And I lost my plot. For drawing her, I think I'm gonna be using less lines. Basically, I just realized I made a huge mistake, you know. Ah, that's awesome, Alicia. So like when I was I'm drawing my debut comic book, I am drawing on a very big sheets of paper. So it's gonna be A4 size, which is, you know, like this. Come on. So that's A4, right? But I'm drawing this. That's half of the page. So I'm drawing on double that. So I'm drawing on A2 really. So A3 is half of the page of this. And in hindsight, that's not really wasn't the smartest idea. So when I'm gonna be drawing next out, and it's just very hard to do. But I'm almost done. So next time I'm gonna be drawing on A3 the entire page rather than bigger, or maybe even smaller with Herzeba, which will be a series, which will be black and white, and maybe one splash of color, like Parker Detective series, which I really like the way that it's drawn and executed. Are you going to show the comic on TikTok? Yeah, of course. You know, at the moment, like I'm gonna be with Herzeba, for sure I'm gonna be showing a lot of progress, a lot of pages, because that's not something that I want to hide. But with my main comic book that I am drawing now, Dan and Clue Diet, which is my debut comic book, there's a lot of plot details. It's really like the movie Psycho, and it's better if you don't know what is coming, because to avoid spoilers. So with that, I'm just gonna be showing some initial samples of the comic book. But with Herzeba, I think I'm gonna take you on the whole process of making that comic book. Yeah. And I think even though Dan and Clue Diet, my debut comic book, it's taken me almost 15 years now, 1-5. Herzeba, even though it will be thicker, about 200 pages, and Dan and Clue is like 48, like Asterix and Tintin, or Franco-Belgian comics, I think I can make Herzeba in a year, and that gives me hope, because it's really tiresome to be spending that. I think I got some skills now, and I know what to change to make my comic book making process faster. Toteo asked if I'm Polish. Yes, I am. I need to put it in like Q&A on my Discord. I have a Discord link in bio, in social, on profile. Oh, thank you. That's so nice, Alicia. Yeah, so that's Herzeba, and he always wears those checked shirts, which I always, you know, was wearing. And when you're drawing checked shirts, I really like just, you know, using straight lines and not warping, because I think that's a cool creative aesthetic. So I really like that. I've seen that some artists do, and I just adopted that into my workflow. Oh, Save Freeze here from Discord. Amazing. So Discord notifications work. That's awesome. I never know where to put the buttons. I think when I was checking a real shirts, the buttons are on this side, but I actually prefer to put them on the other side. So maybe on the next live stream I'm gonna draw another character. As I said, there's 6 main characters. This is Herzeba. And I drew a couple of shorter comics with him when I was a teenager, because I invented him when I was like in my in high school, and I drew the whole 56 pages album in 4 months. That's what the speed is your friend when you're a younger person, for sure. Okay, so that's that. Not perfect, but it will do. As you see, cartoony, like the main features is the goatee, which has this line and this line here. This is supposed to actually look like, I don't know if I can say it, but cannabis, you know, so that's not transparent here, but that it will be. And it will be more adult as well, themed, not for children of all ages, but I'll try to keep it civil at the same time. It's very cool when you're making comics to find a balance, because you don't want to, you know, be 18 plus. You want to be as appealing as possible, even though I said, you know, if you're making a creative work, you want to be true to yourself. But it's a fine, cool balance, and I really enjoy the challenge, so it's awesome. Thank you, Elisier. Says, your character seems very cool, can't wait to learn more. Mifon4 says, I do comics too, but like I retired from making comics. Well, making comics is hard, and to be honest with you, making anything is hard. And it just takes a lot of persistence, and it's not easy. Like I am making those object videos, illustrations, I think even daily now. And like this week was going so because I was too hot, a little bit ill, under the weather. But you know, you just need to keep going because you never know. Hey Chicken, you made it. So this is Herzeba, sketched on live stream. This is my alter ego. There's gonna be 4 comic book albums, and you know, I don't want much from life. I just want a peace and quiet, and I want to be able to finish my 2 comic book series. One is Dan and Clue, and the other one is Herzeba, and both of those are based on real people, well, inspired by my life and aspects of it, but in such a fictional way that it's actually very entertaining. Because in media these days, like movies and especially TV and especially movies, and often in comics, they forgot that they are supposed to be entertaining. You know, fillers and talking for like 2 minutes or 5 minutes and nothing really moves the plot. Ain't gonna happen in my comic. It's gonna be very fast paced. Thank you, Eliezer. Says, good luck with your comic. Save free. I'm gonna switch back to the YouTube live so I can draw on phone. Good idea. That's good to have those 2 options then. Listen, folks, let's draw some of your requests. Let me see if I can put the rules on. I'm too tired to explain the rules, so I'll just put them on. If somebody doesn't follow them, I'm just gonna ignore that. Chicken, you're a moderator, aren't you? Yes, so that's amazing to have a moderator here. And we're not gonna make it longer than usual. Like normally I say we're gonna do it for like, we're gonna live stream for an hour, but we live stream for like an hour 20, hour and a half, you know. But because it's so warm, I'm just gonna keep it to an hour, and we are at 20 minutes mark at the moment. Okay, so I need to put the text with, okay, so the rules are on the screen on TikTok. That's where the majority of viewers are, so we're gonna keep it there. I will bring the camera a little bit closer so you can see better. Eliezer already sent a request, so we're gonna do that. And very important, guys, don't spam messages, okay? Send a request once, and that's gonna be fine. Moderator is gonna pick your request, or more likely, or I gonna. But if you're gonna put like 10 times, oh, draw this, you're just gonna get muted for 5 minutes, or worse. Keep it civil, keep it friendly, safe for work. I went to the cinema and I watched Weapons, and this is the most amazing movie I've seen this year. It's a very good movie for a year for movies. Weapons is brilliant. It has everything I like. It combines vibes from the 80s horror movies like The Nightmare on Elm Street with Hitchcock type of direction, which means like staying on with the character and not changing not cutting to another angle every minute or every 2 minutes like Marvel movies, which I really don't like. I understand why they are doing it, to keep you not bored, but Weapons doesn't need that, and it's really amazing movie. So if you have a chance, go watch it. If you like horror movies or scary movies. Yeah, Weapons. I was also surprised by the title. It's from a director who directed, what's that name? Oh, he made one previous movie before. Oh jeez, I need to look it up now. Weapons. Come on, IMDb. Zach is his name, and he directed Barbarian, which was awesome. It's out there, but it's not out there that it doesn't make any sense. I really always look for sense in movies. That's why I love repeating this. You can make a story impossible, like somebody is flying or something supernatural is happening, and that is fine. But you cannot make it improbable. So humans behaving like humans would never behave in a given situation. And that's what I always try to incorporate in my comic books as well. You know, I used to always complain about plot holes in movies, and then I thought, wait a minute. I can be my own script doctor in my own comic book, and I can actually improve the plot to keep it entertaining, to make it sensical, to make it funny, entertaining. Yeah, so I hope I'm not wrong in that, and you're gonna be a judge of that when I actually finish that. And I can't wait, because you spent 15 years making something, and it's been like, oh man, will I ever finish it, if I'm ever able to do it, if I'm good enough, you know, all those doubts. So I just can't wait. Oh, it's acted, Aaron. It's a featured film. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes, but probably titles credits are 8 minutes. So it's like very good 2 hour movie in the cinemas at the moment. 16 years up, which was great, because I went to see Fantastic Four, and the reason I stopped going to the cinemas was because I was annoyed by people talking, kicking seats, or being on a phone all the time. But it was because I was going to Crazy Thursday, cheaper tickets, so all the people of that sort were going there. Then I was lucky on Superman, quiet, nice. But then I want to watch Fantastic Four, which was blah, except the space scene. And there was a couple 2 seats further, young couple, and they was just talking all the time, you know. They tried to be quiet, but it was so effing annoying. So I could confront them, which I never do, because then I get so worked up I will be upset until the evening and the following day. So I just moved few seats up, few rows up, because there wasn't that many people there. Unfortunately, I didn't have to hear them. Scar. At the moment, no progress, sorry. But keep reminding me. I'll draw that Scar, and then finally we all gonna be at peace, Lion Lover. But I'm gonna make a smaller version. I showed you very big one. I drew Winner from Teapot before, Leslie. You can check my images posts. And I try not to draw the same characters, which you can see in the rules over there. So where was that fair Eliezer? You asked for something, and I gonna find it now. You buttered me up nicely with all the compliments, so now I have no choice. Which is not. I'm just joking, you know. Can you draw one with a deal paper? Can you draw one with a deal paper? Can you explain that? Basically, in the rules, you need to say the character and the show they are from. That's all I need, folks. Other than that, I'm gonna get confused. Like Mifon 3GS from Inanimate Insanity. Let's do that. Is it pinned? Okay, now it's pinned. I think I drew it already before, but Mifon 3GS. I think I drew that as well before. Oh, it's so hot. It's unbearable. Plus, I need to take the washing, which is drying out because it's a nice weather. Animate Insanity at when this stream ends, so that's another reason to only keep it an hour long. Okay, so that's a broken screen. Oh, and we always do 1 minute on the clock. But I think I'm just gonna skip it for today, because I really hate time pressure, even though I put it on myself, because that's gonna be entertaining. But I always kind of do it in a minute anyway, sometimes shorter or longer. Okay, so Mifon 3GS. Show me all those images. They never show the entire character unless you actually click on it. I feel the sweat on my back. I apologize for the imaginary, for putting that image in your head, but it's the truth. And also, like, if I'm gonna be doing an object show, it's gonna be a comic book, and also it will be like one scene on one page, and I'm gonna keep it like A4, maybe a little bit bigger, so I think so to be able to produce them faster. but I don't have many ideas for that. Like for my 2 passion project comics, I have ideas because I was thinking about it for years and years, or maybe at that time I was more creative. And with this, I don't know. Like, figuring out stuff takes me longer. But hopefully that means that the stuff I am figuring out and the plot aspects are actually better than before. Alright, that's it. That's the illustration number 1. MePhone 3GS from Inanimate Insanity. Hope you enjoy. I know the energy levels are very low, but I'm not gonna be pretending that I have, like, you should bring your best energy and your best self for live streams, for being on camera. Lift it up, 25%, so because camera takes it away, to make it entertaining, so more people click, so the reach goes up. And it's like, I don't care about that. I just want to be myself, genuine, even if it's terrible. Oh, for example, on TikTok it says encourage viewers to send gifts and thank them for their support, which annoys me as well, because sure, if you're gonna send gifts, you know who's gonna make the most money on that? Yes, TikTok. And for now, I streamed like 10 or 15 times since I started about a month and a half ago. And you know how much money I earned? 40 cents, which is... Oh, by the way, I'm very appreciative to Kitten. I forgot the name, but I don't get any notifications when somebody sends coins on roses. For some reason, it doesn't, not make alarm. So I missed that on the last live stream. Hi Anne, thank you for loving my drawings. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is. MePhone 3GS. Okay, so another request, and please read the rules about the requests which are on the vertical stream if you're watching on TikTok. Cherry Bomb, not a show, an album by Tyler, the Creator. Cherry Bomb, an album by Tyler, the Creator. Well, if there is a Cherry Bomb on the album, we can for sure do that, Talters. And if you could follow as well, that would be lovely. If you aren't, Tyler, the Creator. Let's see. Oh, that's very disturbing and very detailed, but let's do it. Cherry Bomb. 4 Talters. Leslie's asking for clock from BFB. Can I be honest with you all? I don't really like the design of the clock. That's why I haven't drawn it yet. I just don't. But I will one day. I did draw it on live stream. And I was equally not satisfied with that. My drawing was so-so, and the design of the character. Okay. It's a very, very trippy character right there. Isn't it just? The mad kids are outside, but fortunately they are quite quiet, so it's bearable. Today was supposed to be a very warm day, but we had some clouds, so fortunately it's not that bad. I'm really not good with hot weather. And ice. So I just make it black and white copy. And just quickly I drew many hands before, so I don't have any problem drawing quickly hands and making them look acceptable. The more you draw something, the better it gets. Okay, Cherry Bomb for you. Hope you like. I did draw Yoshka before, Hilda, so maybe, oh no, you didn't ask, that was somebody else for Yoshka. Hilda, crayon box. Crayon box from Oso. She's my favorite character ever. Let's have a look. I see gifter level. Oh, which is another thing. It's like okay. Anyhow, gifter level. When I see your nicknames, like one person can have a symbol and a number, and when I click that, it says gifter level, which means that these people are more likely to gift. Would I choose them over people who aren't likely to send gifts? No, it's just about the character, really. I'm not trying to monetize this. Well, it's always welcome, but you know. Crayon box also. Can you remind me what OSO stands for? Because I was googling that before and I forgot. And all those acronyms are awesome. Hilda, I don't know if crayon box will translate in black and white, but we might try. Open source objects. Oh, that's a very cool name. That's a very cool name. I still haven't figured out a good name for my own object show, and I'm looking for exactly a cool name like that. That's a crayon, isn't it? Yeah, crayon box. Yes, yes. Okay. And with my own object show, I'm thinking like, oh, Sebastian, that's my name, Seb. You know, just keep it simple, keep it wild. Don't worry about this being having any sense at all. But it's so hard for me. I love structure. I love. There you go, Hilda, crayon box. Hope you enjoy. I like structure, organization. I like to think about all of those things. That's why everything takes me so long. Unfortunately, there's a price for everything. Hilda says, thank you so much, she looks so cute. Fantastic. I'm gonna probably maybe put those as an image post sometime later. So you can always take a screenshot, you know. Also, I make all those videos with object shows, and I will try to put them in a image post as well. Like maybe the most popular ones. Because some people use it as PFP, and I like that. It would be nice if they also credited me as a PFP creator, but that's not a requirement. It's always a nice thing to see when somebody uses your stuff, which aren't my own objects. Aaron, wait, you said that if you made an object show, you would make it a comic. I think you like Protoss. That's a comic because I only know about Objectified, and I read the first page and the last page. Or issue, right? And I don't need to know anything more. But it's good to have reference to see what's out there. So I didn't realize there's another comic. I'm gonna definitely check. Let me just write it down there. Protoss. Yeah, Protoss is a comic. Protagonist object show. Again, a very cool name. Thanks for the recommendation, Aaron. Appreciate it. Chicken, I have ideas for my object show. You just can't animate. Yeah, it's like, it's so much work, you know. It's so much work. You only see the tip of the iceberg with everything. And if you have any sense, you would know that everything takes so much time to make. If you think something's gonna take an hour, think it's gonna take 3 hours or 4 hours. I've been there, and I'm there every time. So we are up 40 minutes. We're gonna draw a few more to make it 20, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes, which I'm getting better at. Hi, Latte's wife. How's your Friday, I believe? Can you draw Resurrection Gem from MFE? He is from my object show. Only if it's easily findable, and probably it won't if it's your own object show. Resurrection. from Gem MFE. And anyway, amazing, and the best of luck with your object show. Yeah, the trouble is just finding those references, and time passes by so very fast. Is it your profile picture? Whenever you want me to draw something that is personal, like your own object show, your original character, if that is in your profile picture on TikTok or whatever, this is the only way I can do it, because otherwise it's just too much work, and we don't have that much time to do it. Right? And then they are changing it now, as they always do. Any other requests, folks, in the meantime? So yeah, I have you got any opinions now that we have some more folks about creative freedom? I talked about it in the beginning, and basically I don't believe that creative freedom exists in social media because it is run by the algorithm. So the only way to be creatively free is doing something for yourself, writing, making comics, making art, making animation, and then, you know, maybe a publisher is gonna pick it up, maybe it's gonna go mainstream, but it's very difficult, because how can you be true to yourself and make stuff that you like to do when nobody is interested in that? And not because the people aren't interested, it's because the algorithm chooses to show what appeals to the masses rather than appeals to you, even in niche like drawing or whatever, you know. So that's the biggest trouble right there. That's why I'm making those all object shows, and people are like, oh yeah, we kidnapped you, you're making object shows, oh so good, you're still making those object shows, which is, I enjoy making them, first of all, and second of all, I would be still below 1,000 followers on TikTok if I was sharing my own stuff. So the whole idea, as I said before, is give people what they want, and maybe some of those people will be actually interested in you and in your own personal stuff. And that's the way to build organically, in my opinion, and in my experience. Good heavens, I'm still awake, it's nearly 1 a.m. Oh, you paint, you're still good until 2 a.m. But then remember to get up at 7 a.m. Done, I changed my PFP, says GD. Okay, let's see your character. Yeah, well, let's do that, sure. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for doing this. Let me just see where is your original request. Can I see it? Can you remind me the character name there again? Oh, because I didn't write it down. Resurrection Gem. Okay, Res Gem. Alright, so we are drawing original character named Resurrection Gem for GD Sean 12. When I was younger and when I was drawing characters, I always started with eyes. I'm a self-taught artist, so I never knew about creating the shapes first. I never learned anatomy really, and I still struggle with the anatomy. So it took me a very long time to actually make an outline of a character, like a shape, very simple one, instead of just going straight for the eyes. It's a very nice character, GD Sean 12. But you know, with all those characters, can I give you a positive critic feedback? People are very people don't like feedback for some reason. They are not open to feedback. It's I'm right and I don't care if you have different opinion, you must be wrong. And that's not a good way to grow. There you go, that's the Res Gem for you. Hope you like. Very nice character. Too many sparkles. So all of those object shows have a simplified design, which is easier to animate, it's also easier to draw, and it's also easier for the eye of a viewer to make it more, to easier identify it. So I would definitely remove some of those sparkles. But just a thought for thought, you know, I might be completely wrong. If you like that, which is already very cool design, stick with it. It's always nice to make a couple of sketches, and you probably went through a lot of them as well, to improve the character. Like for my comic book Dan and Clue, I created them in 2004, and over the years I improved them by hell lot. Even in recent years I improved how I draw her on Dan, my character, based on me, and some other, you know, things as well. It's a constant process. Anyhow, yeah, so people don't like feedback, and they are not open to it. And you know, you can listen to feedback, take it or leave it, but, and I never liked feedback either, but I see the benefits of that, you know. Like I was watching a streamer the other day. Let's hold on with the request for a moment, folks. So there's one streamer that I watch on Twitch, right? And that streamer has like, you know, 30, 25 viewers max. So she can read like comments and stuff. And then something was bugging me about her stream for a long time. The image, her video feed, when you look at her like you look at me, seemed to be dimmed, a little bit dark. Not crazy dark, but a little bit like, you know, 10, minus 10 transparency or whatever, if the background is black. I'm explaining it wrong. So I decided to confront her and ask her, just, you know, politely yesterday. And I'm like, you know, love what you're doing, but I think your screen, you're a little bit too dark. And I looked at all other streams are watching. I look at YouTube, and none of those has those issues. So it's not my eyes, it's not my screen. It's only with her, you know, streaming. But she also has like a neon frame around and I was thinking maybe that neon frame has 10% of transparency, black, through the whole image. But you wouldn't notice that when you look at that stuff, you know, because it's only 10 or 5. So that was my first idea. And I said that to her, you know, can you maybe, you know, switch it off and off just to see, just to compare, do it. And I even sub to her using my Prime sub, because I try to support creators, since it doesn't cost me anything monthly. I jump from one to another. And she's like, I don't think you're right. Maybe it's my lighting behind me, but it's very hard for me to set it up every time before I stream anyway. And I don't think there are any filters on OBS. And I think you're like, she wouldn't even consider my feedback being a possibility, you know. And I was baffled, and that's why I was kind of hesitant to even say that to her in chat, because I was expecting that reaction, and behold, it was the exact reaction. And I actually followed up with more specifics how to do it, and she's like, nah. And then I knew pointless for me to trying to tell her, you know, you can actually improve your stream. It's not about your light. There's something probably in the frame of your Twitch that it's making the screen look dimmer. But no. So some people just don't want to be helped. I want feedback, says GD Sean 12. Cool. You can take on feedback. Aaron, wait, can we see some art of your comic? You can see some art of my comic. Sure. We're gonna draw one more character. We are almost at 50 minutes, so let's draw just one final character, and then I'm gonna show some stuff from my comic. I have some of it colored, which I could show you. It ain't gonna look good because I'm just gonna show the screen, and all the pages that I can share, like the initial pages, which were for a comic book publisher but nobody was interested, which is normal, and I'm gonna self-publish in Kindle, Amazon Publishing Direct, KDP. I have those already hidden somewhere because I'm working on more recent pages. Aaron, Pillow from BFD with a little ball. Let her be cutesy. I think I drew her already before. Chicken, could you draw Brasha from Dandy's World pretty please? There was a bug. It's just too hot. What else? Dandy's World. No idea what's happening. I'm just gonna draw one final character, and it's really, that's why I don't, trouble with me drawing this, it's hard to pick them, you know, you cannot be fair to everyone. This life is so joyous, you're very kind. In my head it's the opposite. Not because, it's because the way I see myself, which is not in the nicest light. Okay, let's see this one, because that's something that I haven't seen before. Clyde Sacrifica Solarity. Oh yeah! Hooray! Another rectangular character that is hopefully not that. Okay, switch the camera. I remembered this time, because last time I forgot. This is for Cory. Clyde. Sacrifically Solidarity. Okay. Let's go! I like texture, so different characters or different things like fur or different kinds of fur would have different texture, and the way to show that in illustration and comics and whatever is to use a different way of drawing lines. So not super smooth, it could be wiggly, it could be zigzaggy, it would be like your head is shaking a little bit. And I really love that in comics and in illustration as well, you know? I find it very cool to experiment with that. Like lately I've been drawing rabbit skin. When I was younger, and we used to have, it was typical in Poland in commune in the late 80s to have rabbit skin as a part of your room decor, and my brother had it on the over there. So I'm drawing that in my in one of the backgrounds with one panel flashback in my debut comic, Don't Include Diet. It has a lot of cutscenes, so I think you would love those as well. Very cool character as well. I think this one turned out pretty cool. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks Lattice Wife for unpinning the comment. Curtain Coffee, thanks so much for our rose, appreciate it. Again, I don't hear the notifications, I don't know how to fix that. Alright, let me show you some stuff from my comic. Thank you for the request, that's all with the request for today. We have 10 minutes left. We have, 17 people, amazing. I always wonder if I'm gonna say, you know, oh, that's all, no more requests today. Will people actually start leaving like crazy? Which is always disheartening, but what can you do? My comic. What's the easiest way for me to show you something? I have pages completed. I have also something from Herzeba. So let's see what I can show you. These are all very recent pages. I can show you this one. Probably. Okay, so let me just switch on the camera. So like, when you're creating a comic book, you need one panel that it's high detailed, showing the location. And then you don't need to have those backgrounds that detailed. It's about the balance in the composition in the whole page, balance within the panel itself and all of that stuff. So, you know, it's very cool. I love it. Figuring out those things. So, this is Clue. Clue is the main character and Dan is the other one. So Clue and Dan are a couple. This is Dan. He is sick at the moment. He has hallucinations. And these are his hallucinations because they are on a diet. So his hallucinations are ice cream, and his eyeballs are all going crazy. And they, Dan is very not dim-witted, but he loves cheese, and Clue is very smart and fast-thinking. It's really like, and it occurred to me later. Clue is like Asterix, and Dan is like Obelix, and that's all you really need to know. So this is the scene that it's a little bit longer. I mean longer. And this took me a very long while to draw it. And I think I drew it 2 times. There's a lot of Easter eggs in my comic book. So if you love Easter eggs, there's a comic book Easter eggs and mainly movie Easter eggs. So, and I need to redraw her because I think she is too small. And this is based on a French scene as well. So about that Easter eggs, if we look closely over here, this is Gendarme from Louis Define from French series. And there's actually more Easter eggs from Louis Define movie in this panel as well. So, I was making Easter eggs even before they were a thing, before the Marvel stuff started, because I started making this comic in 2004. So that's one of those I can show you. And then we have, oh, thanks so much, Aaron. And then we have Dino. Dino is best friends of Dan, and he's a tech IT guy. So that's Dino right there. There you go, that's Dino. He is playing Yo-Yo. I redrew this whole scene twice. That's why it's taken me so long time as well. And basically the scenes in a comic happen within a page or something, or 2 pages. Bigger scenes would have more pages, but seldom. While in other comics you can spend 6 pages on one scene and that is just 2 people talking, and it's quite, in my opinion, boring. So hopefully that won't happen in mine. I don't really have anything from Herzeba handy here. My cat is back, so I need to end. But I will in a moment. Just a second. Just a moment. I'll be right back. Oh. Ow. Sorry for that. Yeah, the cat had accident on a bicycle, because if you're wearing a long dresses, it gets pulls in and it ruins the dress, the bike. Yeah, so that's my comic. I will share some more as well later on. I'm really glad you enjoy it. Thank you, Alistair. It's great to be back, but I have to run as well, which is about time anyway, because we are 48 minutes in, so perfect timing. Xmas, all the best with everything. Thank you so much for chilling out with me today. I wish you a wonderful weekend and chat online on the webs. Have a great one. Good luck with all your projects and good luck with your life. Bye. Now, how to end this? End it here. Bye, chicken. Bye, folks. And end it on